Welcome to Triangle Measurement Practice. We're going to talk about how to find the area and perimeter of a triangle, and we are going to use the RSS method for documenting our work and for really increasing our chances of getting the right answer. So we'll talk about that as well as the two measurements. So we're going to be finding the area and the perimeter of a triangle. So just going over how to do that. To find the area of the triangle, you are going to take half of the base times the height. So essentially like the area of a parallelogram, except half of that, because a triangle is half a parallelogram. And to find the perimeter, it's just the sum of the sides. So you just add the three sides together. And you don't add anything on the inside of the triangle to find perimeter. Perimeter is the outside of the triangle. So we're going to practice that with this first problem here. We're going to be finding the area of this triangle, and the dimensions are given to us. So the first thing I'm going to do is copy. I'm going to rewrite the formula, copy the formula, and my butterfly fell off, but copy the formula for the area of a triangle. So to find area, it's half times the base times the height. Or you might see it written as, another way you might see the formula is base times height divided by 2. That's another way to find it. It's the same thing. So now we just need to be able to know which one is the base and which one is the height. So to find the base and height of a triangle, you look for the 90-degree angle, because the base and the height always meet at a 90-degree angle. The base and the height always meet at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to pause this real quick. I just resumed my recording here, and I know this seems strange because I have the height on the bottom and the word base going up like a height, but this is the only way the letters meet nicely. But the base and the height always meet at a 90-degree angle. They are perpendicular to each other. And it's kind of like if you're getting measured, your feet would be flat on the ground, and they would measure your height, how tall you are, you'd be standing straight up. So this is the base and the height. Now, normally we look at it this way, right? We say this is the base, and we find the height by looking for the box. I look at it like an H. So I'm going to highlight this so you can see what I mean by the H here. This measurement they give you inside the triangle, and this box here kind of makes an H with a really long part here. So that's H for height. So here's the height. And the base sits, it's like a chair sitting on the base. The height's like a chair that sits on the base, and here's the base down here. And I will highlight that in pink. So if you can find the base and height, that's like job number one. Find the base and height in the triangle. And once you find that, then you can just use the numbers. So the base is 6 and the height is 4. So I'm going to my next S is for substitute. I substitute in, the half comes down because that's still there in the formula. The B is the base. The base is 6 from my picture. The H is the height. And 4. So I'm multiplying all these numbers, so I use parentheses to substitute in my values, just like we did with the equations, and then I know I'm multiplying because the parentheses are side by side by side. The next thing I'm going to do is just put this in the calculator. I'm going to multiply that out, and I'm going to get my answer is 12. And you always square your area, so that's 12 units squared. I say it like this, square your area, because area is always squared. So there we did it. We found the area of that triangle. Now let's find the perimeter. So the perimeter is the distance around. So I'm going to go around the triangle to find the perimeter. And a triangle has 3 sides. So I'm going to add, and it says RSS, so I'm going to write the formula. Well, there's really no formula you're just going to add the three sides. So here's my formula. Side plus side plus side. And I'm going to remember that there's three sides of this triangle, so I'm only going to add three numbers. So the first side is 5, substituting, plus, I'm going around the triangle. 5 plus, this side is 5, plus the bottom side here is 6. So I have all three sides, 5 plus 5 plus 6. This is my isosceles triangle. So I have two sides of it the same, and the third side's different. When I add them up in my calculator, I get 16 units, because perimeter is a distance, it's not squared. Notice I didn't add in the 4, because the 4 is on the inside. Okay, so there is one example. Let me show you another one real quick. This triangle doesn't have like a height going through the center like the other one did, but it does have a right angle here. So what we said before, we know we found the base and the height when we find the right angle. So that means that this right here, this right angle is telling us that this side here is perpendicular to this bottom side. So that means that 8 can be the height and 6 can be the base. Or we could look at it this way. And now 8 is the base and 6 is the height. But it doesn't really matter because it's the same triangle. I'm going to get the same answer no matter how I look at that. So sorry I lost you there for a second. So here's the height. We're going to use h. See the h? We're going to use 8 as the height and 6 as the base. So let me fill those things in. You fill them in your paper also. You hit pause. So I copied the formula and then I replaced or substituted in the values, 6 for the base, 8 for the height, and then I would just multiply those in a calculator, and I'm going to get 24 units squared because we square our area. Then for the perimeter, again, we have three sides to this triangle. So it's going to be side plus side plus side. I have three sides. And now this height is part of the outside of the triangle, so I'm going to add that in, 8, plus this bottom side here, 6. Now the third side is 10. So I add those all up, and I get 24 units. Now in this one, it just so happens that the number we got for the perimeter and the number we have for the area are the same number. They're not the same measurement because this is a distance, whereas this is the number of squares it takes to cover. So it looks like it's the same answer, but they're actually different because there are different ways of measuring something. That might happen from time to time. You could get the same number, but notice you don't always get the same number for perimeter and area. It happened here, but it didn't happen here. Okay, so there are a couple more on the back for you to try. So you should try those if you have this paper. And hopefully this was helpful to you. Thanks for watching.